guys, it's Mary Lee, the Diamond Dinosaur, coming at you from the lair. Yes, it is me, the Double D33. Oh man, guys, I have got a lot going on right now. And I mean, I haven't been on for a while. I haven't done a WIP for a while. I think I've done like maybe a small shop haul here and there. But I just had some health issues going on, and I kept putting off doing a WIP. I know I wanted to talk about, you know, the Super Bowl and then the Combine and free agencies coming up next week. And then you have the draft the following, you know, in a couple months or so. So I just thought, you know, I'd hop on and do a little chat with you. But I'm going to talk about something completely different than what I normally would talk about. So before I get into that, let me tell you what I'm working on right now. I am working on Little Mermaid Dreams from Diamond Art Designs. And my accessories today are, pretty sure this pen, I think, came from Lady Lathe. I think. Again, I'm not 100% sure. Let me move this down just a little bit. My putty and my wax is from Pure Bliss Wax Company. It's called Mermaid Dreams. And the cover minder, all three of them came as a set. So the cover minder is also from Pure Bliss Wax. This is a picture of the canvas that I'm doing. I just thought she was so cute, and she would be perfect for Mermaids and Magic for that event. My tray is from Bijou Bliss, and it is for the Mermaids and Magic 2026 event. So, let's jump right on into it. So, just tell you a little bit about myself, because I feel like this is a safe space for me to talk and express to people who just may need to hear certain things. I am an older person. I'm in my 60s. I just turned 60 last year. Not ashamed to say it. 60 is the new 45. Let's just say it. I've never been a very active person. I don't run. I don't go to the gym. I did enjoy walking my dogs, cleaning my house, things like that. So about, my daughter is 28. So let me even say about 15 years ago, maybe, let me say about between 15 to 17 years ago, I decided that I needed to lose weight, and I had a Wii, because everybody loved Wii Fit, you know, that was everything. And I used the scale on the Wii Fit, and I was going through some stuff and was diagnosed with OCD. But I was also diagnosed for the first time in my life with an eating disorder. Now, at that time, I even had my sister come to me and say, well, that just doesn't sound right, because, you know, you're an older person. Most eating disorders are, you know, they affect young people. That is not true. Many cases of eating disorders are older women my age, between the ages of 40, 60, maybe even 65. I'm not sure that exact stat. Midlife, I'll say, because, you know, when women are married or they have children, whichever, married, not married, but you have kids, you have a family, you have a house, whatever. You're young, you're focused on taking care of your family, taking care of your career, your house, and all these things. And then as things start to change, your work environment may change. You know, your children are married, and now you're an empty nester with your husband, so they have nothing to focus on. So then that eating disorder finally becomes predominant in the person, because now she has nothing to take her mind off things. I was diagnosed with an eating disorder. Never really thought about this, but I don't eat fruits and veggies. Never have, never will. And I never realized that that was considered to be an eating disorder. It's not balanced, right? Protein, I'll eat protein till the cows come home. I mean, I will sit down and fry up a piece of liver if need be, without hesitation. I'm a protein person. I'm a carnivore. I'm not a vegetarian. I'm not a vegan. I am a straight up carnivore. So yeah, fitting that I'm a T-Rex and this is the dinosaur lair and I'm the diamond dinosaur. That being said, I was treated. I went through counseling. I was admitted to outpatient counseling where I had to go every day in the afternoon, early evenings to this hospital for eating disordered patients. And I had to have dinner with them and they would make my dinner. And the rule was that you would sit there and you would eat everything that was put before you, whether you liked it or not, you would eat it and you would not be allowed to leave the table until you did. That lasted one day because I told them that I am not eating a tomato, I am not eating lettuce, I am not eating any vegetable you put on my plate. They said, well, you can't leave. And I said, well, watch me. And I got up and I walked out and declined treatment. Went about my day. My eating disorder was to the point, along with my OCD, and they are cousins. You have an eating disorder voice, which we call the ED. And then you have OCD, and they're like cousins of each other, right? They're not siblings. They're just cousins. They kind of hang out together, and then they argue together, whatever you want to call it. So when I was weighing myself and was pretty much at my highest, I purged a few times and immediately realized that that was not the thing to do, being in the medical field, and knew I immediately needed help and reached out and started to get help. I would weigh myself the same time every day in the same spot on my WIP scale in pretty much the same weight of clothing. If I weighed myself every day at 9 o'clock and I got on the scale one day and I gained a half a pound, a quarter of a pound, maybe I was retaining water that day because I was going to have my period, whatever, then I couldn't eat for a day. And I wouldn't be able to eat until I weighed myself and I was back to that original weight that I started at. And how that kind of got put on the back burner, my husband decided that it was time for us to remodel our kitchen. So now I didn't have any choice but to eat out, because I also had my mom, my elderly mother here that I had to care for as well, and my teenage daughter. And getting our kitchen remodeled, that kind of took my OCD away from focusing on my weight and the number of my weight to doing things and making plans for my kitchen. What kind of plates am I going to have? What kind of appliances do I want? What kind of cabinets do I want to pick out? What kind of table do I want? This whole thing. So that took a lot off my mind, and it kind of diverted my OCD to focus on my kitchen. And ever since that day, after my kitchen was created and done and ready, we're living in it and working in it and whatever, I did not have any issues with my eating disorder. It lay dormant. I still did not eat fruits and veggies, but I was not focused on my weight, how I looked, none of those things. It was dormant for many, many years. So recently, over the past couple of years, few years actually, my endocrinologist, because I'm a diabetic, type 2, put me on Mounjaro. And we started off at the smallest dosage, which was great. And then I'm at, I think he said 10, because I just left his office for an emergency appointment. So over the course of the past few weeks, the last time I saw my endocrinologist was on December 30th of last year. So I'm not due to go back to see him until April. But they put me in as an emergency appointment because for the past few years, I've been having very horrible back pain. And I'm dealing with that and can't always sit. I can't stand. I can't walk. I can't stand for periods of time. I can't walk for periods of time. I'm a complete and utter disaster. Legitimate. I'm a disaster. I'm waiting for that big, meteorite to come and hit and everything like it did for the dinosaurs, my fellow compadres. So recently, I just felt like I wasn't feeling well, and I thought, well, maybe I'm really dehydrated. I really don't drink a lot of water. My predominant source of fluid is Coca-Cola and water, but more Coke than anything. So I decided, let me get some Gatorade. So my husband got me some Gatorade, and I started drinking that, and I started to feel a little better. But then I realized that my thighs were really starting to bother me a lot, like my leg and thigh muscles, and I was having cramping in my feet. I thought was weird. Not your normal Charlie horse type cramp. It was something else. So I went ahead and just did some research on my own because I am in the medical field as a coder. I know medical terminology, and I've been in the field for a long time, and I kind of know how the body works. And if you're not getting enough protein, your body will then turn on itself and and start taking protein from your muscles because it needs to feed the rest of the organs. Then, we all know what happens after that's gone. Then your body starts shutting down. So I didn't want to get to that point, but I was thinking, yeah, maybe I'm missing out on some protein here because I started thinking about it, and I went from eating 2 meals a day, like a breakfast or a lunch and then dinner, to eating one. That probably wasn't even the size of what you would give a 10-year-old or a 9-year-old or whatever if they were home having a sandwich or whatever, which is kind of odd considering, again, I'm all about the protein. I mean, I would walk through the house with a big tablespoon of peanut butter in my mouth like it was a lollipop. So always a big protein eater. And I realized that I pretty much have stopped eating protein. So now I'm not even taking in the nourishment. So I notice I'm starting to have thinning of the hair. My skin is very dry and flaky. And I don't mean the skin on my scalp. I mean my arms, my legs, just... So I'm thinking to myself, I'm becoming malnourished. I'm literally sitting here starving myself. Like, what am I freaking doing? So I've been very frightened the past few days. Like, oh my God, am I starving myself? Am I going to, not wake up one day and everything? So I got in to see my endocrinologist today, and he has decided to drop down my Mounjaro back to what I was on. And stop it for a week, 2 weeks maybe, and then restart it. And I'm going back to see my nutritionist. He's not concerned. It's not something that can't be fixed. But we kind of think what's happening is somewhere along the line, my inner Ed has decided to rear its ugly head. Meaning, the way Mounjaro works is it stops your hunger receptors in the brain. So you just don't feel hungry. That doesn't mean you don't know to eat, or you don't look at the time and say, oh, it's lunchtime, let me make a sandwich. It just takes the hunger feeling away so you're not eating all day. Well, I wasn't even realizing that it was time to eat because my Ed my brain wasn't paying attention because my Ed wasn't paying attention. So it's almost like the Mounjaro is working and doing its job, but at the same time it was feeding my inner eating disorder. I've lost 12 pounds since December 30th, which is a huge ton of weight for someone who has not had surgery. I weigh less now than I did when I got pregnant for my daughter 29 years ago. So that's a little disconcerting, but I think I can definitely turn this around. I have a lot of support with my family. My husband is very supportive. My daughter is very supportive. My daughter's boyfriend, who lives here with us, he is very supportive as well. So I feel like after talking to the doctor, this is a new day, for sure. I'm excited. I'm excited to start this new path and this new journey. I will be going to see my nutritionist, and I think what's going to happen is they're going to end up, they're not going to be able to change my nutrition. They're not going to be able to force me to eat veggies and fruits. That's just not going to happen at my age. That time period has come and gone, passed me by. So they're probably going to do something like give me a timer to where I have to set it, or set a timer, 3 timers on my alarm, one for breakfast, one for lunch. one for dinner. Space it out, you know, something along that line. Because I have to do something because I can't keep doing this. I think it actually may even be a cause of my back pain a little bit, because when you have muscle loss, right? My back would be hurting because I don't have any core muscle strength, because I've lost muscle mass. So that could be a big part of my back pain as well. So again, that's promising for me. So I'm hoping that with protein shakes and things like that, that I could definitely bounce back to where I was 3 or 4 years ago this time. I'm not saying I want to reverse the aging process, but I would really like to, let me get a drink real quick. I'd really like to at least reverse the fact that I don't feel well, right? And when you don't feel good, the last thing you want to do is anything. You don't want to do anything. You know, you just want to lay around. But I still have a job. I still have to work at my job, 8 hours a day. Thank God I don't have to leave the house. I am 100% remote. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. So we will see what happens. So I just wanted to let anybody out there who is struggling from an eating disorder, no matter what your age is, I don't care if you're 75, if you're 65, 55, whatever. If you see this video and you watch this video, just know that you are not alone in this world. You are not alone. You should never feel alone. Eating disorders are real things. They're real. Just like depression, anxiety, eating disorders are real. It's not just in your brain. It's not just that you don't want to eat something, or, oh, you're just afraid you're going to get fat. No, it's none of those things. It's real. And you're not alone. And if you are struggling, you know, reach out to a friend, a spouse, your biggest support. You know, you could probably call, you know, if you have a counselor, reach out to your counselor. Let them know that you feel like you're, you know, going through a time in your life where you're starting to develop an eating disorder, or you have one. Tell your doctor, tell anybody you have to, because there is support out there for you. You are not alone, and you should never have to feel alone. Yeah, so that's what's been going on in my life. I can't come out and say same crap, different day, because it's the same crap, and it is a different day, but I feel like it's not the same crap. My body feels like it's the same crap, though. It's so tired. It's just so tired. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. Yeah, so next week, this week I have a foot doctor appointment for my diabetic foot checkup. And then I go see my nutritionist next week. And I'm also getting another epidural in my sacroiliac next week. So busy week next week. And working. So there's that. Yay, me. So on a side note, though, let's flip to some positive news. I have been paying attention to a little bit of what's going on the combine. I have a couple of players. I just want to get all my ducks in a row. I don't want to just keep talking about, you know, draftees, potential draftees, without having my whole list compiled, because that just would not make any sense. So I am working on compiling that list so I can talk about the draftees and how much I want them for my team. Go Birds! But we shall see. I mean, after free agency starts next week, so once that starts, I'll know what players I have, if we got any new ones, if we kept any of our players. I'll have all those answers. So be on the lookout for that during my next WIP. So I didn't mean to jump in either, guys, to jump right in and start talking about something that was kind of sad or I just felt like it was important for people to know that they're not alone, right? They're not alone. I'm right here in those trenches with you, sis. So, how is everyone? I know that seems weird. Like if you have an eating disorder, give me a comment. We can talk about it, compare notes. Be there for each other if need be. I'm always willing to listen. Thanks for coming to check out my video. If you're new to my channel, appreciate you. Feel free to like and subscribe. It is free. If you like this video and some of the content that I'm giving to you, I'm talking about, if you like football, I always talk about football. Hit that bell for notifications and you'll know when new one comes out. I tend not to do WIPs every week. Not during off season for football because I don't really have that much to talk about. I don't feel like. I sometimes have a hard time talking about just random things sometimes. But yeah, hit that bell and you can get some notification. I do tend to do quite a few small shop hauls, but I'm not going to be doing that for a while because I've put myself on an absolute no buy. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm still going to do unboxings instead, like when I take a kit out of my stash. So sorry. When I take a kit out of my stash and I'm going to open it up and unbox it so I can start kitting it up or working on it. I'll do like an unboxing, or I'll just do a kit up video, kitting up or something. Because I want to stay, I do want to stay focused on my channel. Because I do enjoy doing it. I enjoy sharing my diamond painting with other people who are like-minded. And I love talking about my dogs and things like that. And sometimes my house, if the spirit moves me. Always ready to talk about football. Sometimes I'll even talk about wrestling, depending. Oh, you know what? Speaking of wrestling, I saw on Facebook somewhere that they gave Penta the Intercontinental title. So snaps and claps for Penta. He is one of my favorite wrestlers. He's a lucha libre wrestler, but he's in the WWE with his brother Ray Fenix. So I'm glad that he's finally getting his due. So props to Penta. What else do I have going on? Oh, I think I might want to start talking about some dinosaurs. Rawr. Like maybe every WIP, just give it a little snippet about a dinosaur. We don't have to talk about the dinosaur the entire time, but just some facts on one specific dinosaur, whether it's a Stegosaurus, a Tyrannosaurus, Velociraptor, Brontosaurus, Brachiosaurus, Stegosaurus, Triceratops, all kinds. So, I do love me some dinosaurs. I did see that the latest Jurassic World movie, Dominion, I did not watch it. I own it, but I have not watched it. Because I've been focused on diamond painting and just trying to get my life in order. I did see that was nominated for an Academy Award. So props to Jurassic World Dominion. So now I feel like I definitely have to watch it. And for anybody else that cares, on Apple TV, the new season of Monarch, Legacy of Monsters, the TV show on Apple TV about Godzilla and the Monsterverse started last week. So, to me, that's a big deal. I mean, Godzilla is my spirit animal. I love him. so much. So he did not make an appearance on this episode, but I did enjoy it. So I usually like to wait till things are done streaming so I could just binge watch it. And I couldn't wait, so I ended up watching just the first episode, so now I have to wait. So this will probably be one of those shows. How I did it last season is I watched it as it was happening. And then when it was all done, I went back and rewatched the entire season. Because, I may have missed a snippet of Godzilla. And I can't have that. Because, he is, for those of you that don't know, Godzilla is an Academy Award winner. My boy finally got his Oscar for Godzilla -1. I believe. Is it -1? Yeah. Which was an excellent movie. I loved it so much because it literally took Godzilla back to almost a horror type character. Because remember, when the Godzilla movies first came out, he was not supposed to be this lovely, giant, nuclear-fed lizard. He was literally supposed to be this horrifying monster. And everyone was supposed to be scared of him. And I mean, to be honest, I was never afraid of Godzilla. I always loved him. So now he has evolved into this anti-hero type monster. And, I was glad to see that -1 kicked it back to almost making him more horrifying. Because I'm telling you right now, I could watch -1. Whether it's the black and white version, the color version, it doesn't even make no difference to me. When I see him swimming through that water after the water in the ocean, after that boat, whoo, girl, horrifying. Horrifying. I'm like, oh my God, I did not want to boop that nose in any way, shape, or form. He was the big scary. So I was glad for that, that he finally got his due. So he is an Academy Award winner, so put some respect on his name. Yeah. So guys, I mean, that's pretty much all I have right now. I mean, I'm going to be doing some rearranging in the craft room. I want to get that done before I get too tired and I don't want to do it. So I'm going to sign off for now. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my afternoon off and, maybe try to get some rearranging done in here. I know my daughter will she'll be home at 3:30 and she'll be helping. So I'm going to sign off for now, guys. Remember that roar and dinosaur means I love you and appreciate each and every one of you. Again, thank you so much for stopping by and spending this 20-some minutes with me so I can share my story, discuss a little bit of an eating disorder. They affect everybody differently. And, what's an eating disorder for me may not be the same eating disorder that someone else may have. But the most important thing is if you feel like you have one, the most important thing you could do is seek help. Reach out, because there is help available to you. You can do this. You can beat it. Do not listen to your inner saboteur. So guys, that's all I got for now. Again, I'll be coming at you in the next week or so, talking a little bit about some football with some free agency stuff. And I'll have that list of draftees that I would really like to see the Eagles try to get. So I'm going to say ciao for now. Bye. Love y'all.